Hello, everybody. Once again, we want to welcome you to the Old Time Gospel Hour at Keavy, Kentucky. We invite you to come down and be with us in the studio any Thursday night from 8 to 9 o'clock. We'd be glad to have them with me, Jonathan.
I love it.
I'll tell you what, just feel free to call in. We'll pray for you tonight, and we'll put your prayer request on the radio and TV. And we got good Christian people out there, and I know they'll pray for them, Jonathan.
Oh, praise God.
We're having a revival there at Turkey Creek Baptist Church, and we started Monday, and we appreciate Jeff Branham coming down and done a wonderful job there at Heidrich Baptist Church, and he's a pastor and come down and preached Monday night, and Owen Smith preached Tuesday night from Friendship, and his brother Tip preached Wednesday, and Ken and Roark's there tonight, and Ken and Roark will be there Friday at 7 o'clock, and he's the pastor up Salt Gum. We invite everybody to come out and be at the revival. We got one more night left, Friday night, at Turkey Creek Baptist Church, and Eli Broughton's the pastor, and invites everybody to come out. Had a great time in the Lord there, Brother Jonathan.
Praise God.
I tell you what, we're looking for a good time in the Lord tonight. Well, first of all, Jonathan, I want to send the program out to Marvin Evans there at Turkey Creek, and I met Marvin the other day, and he said, Jim, I watched the program, and I want you to send the program out to me. And Marvin, I know you're getting ready for the Daniel Boone Festival because he's won that best dress costume, Jonathan, for you. No, the Daniel Boone costume. He's got the rifle and the uniform and everything. And Marvin, we hope you do well this year in the costume, best dressed. Hope you win again, Marvin. Marvin's a good fellow there at Turkey Creek, and he watches us faithfully, Jonathan. We'll send a program out to him. And you know, last week, Brother Jonathan, I mentioned that milk cow. You remember you need a milk cow? And I pulled into the gas station, and Whitley Mills says, well, if I had a milk cow, Jim, I'd probably need a mule too. So he said, I don't need the milk cow unless I get a mule. But Whitley Mills up at Turkey Creek and his wife Sue, he says they watch us and get a blessing from the program, Brother Charles. And want to send the program out to Whitley and Sue Mills. And also tonight I want to send it out up on Big Creek to my buddy Earl Smith. I know he's watching. His wife Marie's down here with us. And I love to tell that story on Earl. I went up there and looked at his cattle once, and he had a few for sale a couple of years back, Jonathan. And I said, Earl, I need to come early in the morning to look at them and eat breakfast with you. He said, well, come on, and Maria cooked for you. And so I went up there, and Maria, you had one of the finest breakfasts I ever eat. It was good. It was good. Biscuits and gravy and eggs and coffee. And I tell you what, you're a good cook, Marie. And I didn't buy Earl's cattle, but about 2 or 3 days later, I saw him, and I said, Earl, I need to come back up there and look at them cattle in the morning. He said, all you want to do is come up there and eat with us. Hey, it's good to fellowship, Jonathan, with good Christian people. I love the fellowship with good Christian people, and Earl, he'd feed me anytime I come up there, Marie, and it's good to fellowship with good Christian people. And I'll tell you what, we've got a good group of singers down here tonight from Mills Creek Baptist Church, and this is my favorite group, Jonathan.
Right.
This is my favorite group by far. They're here tonight.
Yeah.
And that's Kelsey Jackson, and she's 6 years old, and she attends DeWitt Elementary School. And Caitlin Jackson is 9 years old, and she attends DeWitt. And Hannah Stewart is 8 years old, and she attends DeWitt. And Taylor Mills is 7 years old, and she attends DeWitt. And they're going to sing a special, they're going to sing with the big choir, and then they've got a few specials they're going to sing. And boy, if you get a blessing to hear them sing, Jonathan, you stay tuned tonight, and you will get a blessing. And Brother Jonathan, I just wanted to say this before I let you pray. Where Jesus is, you just don't want to leave. There's just something about it. When Jesus shows up, you just don't want to leave. And You know, they was 5,000 people followed him that day, and the disciple says we better send them away. But Jesus fed them with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And I've thought about that after that preacher preached on that. If he hadn't fed them, they might have stayed there and just actually died. They wasn't going to leave him. Where Jesus is, where he shows up, people just don't want to leave.
Oh, that's the way I feel.
And I tell you what, there was 3 Hebrew children once, and I had Brother Jonathan look that up for me. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They was in that fiery furnace. And Jesus showed up in there with them. And Nebuchadnezzar had to tell them to come out of there.
Right.
They was with Jesus, and they didn't even want to leave.
Glory.
And that's what the Bible says. The Bible says, Nebuchadnezzar says, come forth, come hither, out of the fiery furnace. And I tell you what, you need to know Jesus tonight. And when we get the Spirit just right down at Kiwi, we got Brother Charles Carnes going to come bring the message. I feel pretty good. I know it took up a lot of time tonight, Brother Jonathan. But I just want to say it's one of the best revivals I ever went to was up at Mills's Creek, Brother Charles. And I think you had Herman Mills as the evangelist up there, and a lot of my good friends that went on to meet the Lord were up there and fellowshipped up there at Mills's Creek. And I tell you what, if you don't have a church to go to, that Mills's Creek Church is a fine church. They treat you good up there, Jonathan. And they're here tonight, their choir to sing, and Brother Charles is going to bring the message, and we know you'll get a blessing.